As an entrepreneur,
Mm.
what is the best investment that you have made as an entrepreneur?
That's really easy investment in myself.
If you're a business owner, you may or may not already have your online presence created. There are some mistakes that can be made, and I don't want you to be making them when you're starting your business online. One of them is not knowing when to get your hosting. Think of your website as a building, and your hosting is the land that your building is on. It's wise, and it makes a lot more sense for you to make your website around the same time as when you get your hosting. There is no advantage to you getting your hosting, say, in January, but then you start your website in December. That time in between you're paying for, and you have to renew your hosting the year after. Another thing is this: if you already have your online presence, one mistake is you could be making is not actually collecting your leads via your website. This is not the same as general inquiries. A lead is me raising my hand and saying, I'm interested in your particular service. A general inquiry could be something like me asking you, hey, what year did you start your business? The two are not the same. So I've put together an easily digestible checklist of the 5 biggest mistakes you could make online and how to avoid them. It's called the Secret Web Design Checklist. Also, I've got a book, and it's called Starting Your Online Business the Right Way. Just go to oyemade.com/performance. That's oyemade.com/performance. And you see the options for the Secret Web Design Checklist and the book to starting your online business the right way. Hope you enjoy those. Now, let's get back to the episode.
My brother Oye, good afternoon to you, sir. How are you?
How you doing, my man? You good?
I am doing blessed, man. I think that you literally was like, I know what color
I
shirt.
know. How we matching? How we matching? That's what I was thinking. I was like, how we matching?
Yeah, I'm just saying, man, this is so real. This is so ridiculously crazy, man. I'm gonna have to talk to David about this tomorrow. How you doing, sir? How's everything?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm chilling. How you been? How you doing?
Oh man, awesome, man, awesome, man. I just got out of the kitchen. You know how it goes. It's a Sunday, and I'm the chef in my house, so you know how that goes. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I see that. You cooking up in the kitchen, huh?
Oh yes, definitely. All right. So to all my viewers online right now, a lot of you guys don't know Oye is I think it's best if I just ask you the questions, Oye, and then you tell the audience who you are, what it is that you do. Because I have a series of questions I want to ask you for my challenge. For a lot of you guys who are just now tuning in, I have this challenge that I'm participating, and I have to ask some intriguing and some interesting questions. And I have some questions for Oye that I want to ask. I wonder if he's ready. To watch the
Well,
if I don't challenge you,
we're about to find out.
Yeah.
I said we're about to find out.
All right, cool. So Oye, tell us about Oye.
Okay,
what is it that Oye does?
So I'm the CEO of Cubs Group Media. So we're based here in England, and we make high performance websites for high performance businesses who want to position themselves as the authority and dominate their industry. So what that means is when a business owner says, right, I want to get online and I don't just want to have a website, I want to have a website that's actually going to generate me business and attract clients to me, they seek us out. So we explain to them the difference between having a brochure website and having a client attraction website, which is a brochure website essentially is, hey, this is all about me. This is all about me. This is me promoting myself. Whereas a client attraction website is showing the potential customer what it is you can do for them. Because like Jose says, people are selfish. People want to know what's in it for them. So it's, so a client attraction website is basically teaching or explaining or attracting customers who want the solution that you're offering. For instance, with yourself in trucking, It could be as we discussed the other day. It could be something about the 7 myths about the trucking industry, or the 7 biggest mistakes you can make when you start in a trucking industry. So someone could be looking for that on the internet, and then if you're solving that solution, so you're moving them from point A to point B. You don't necessarily need to take them from point A to point Z. You just need to move them from point A to point B. So now they know you, they like the information that you've given them, and you're solving their problems. So now they know you, like you, and trust you just based on that little bit of solution you've been able to provide for them. So that brings customers in. So that's your leads coming in, just because you're the person who can solve their problem, and you're positioned as the authority in their eyes. So that, in a very small nutshell, that's a client attraction website.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, you guys hear it. If you guys need a high performance website, Oye is the man to design it. That's the reason why I had to get his consultation, because I needed an high performance website for my trucking and logistics and consulting business, and he was the man that I had to go to. When I tell you that, he's one of the best in the industry, I'm telling you. All right, Oye, I gotta ask you. There's so many things out there that you could have been doing as a young man. What inspired you to decide that you wanted to go this route that you're going right now?
What inspired me to get into the web world? Well, yes. It was actually out of necessity. It wasn't even a case of anything else. It was out of necessity. So my background's in law. I studied law at university, law school, and all of that. So I was supposed to become a lawyer, because, in the African, and I'm sure in the Caribbean household, it's a lawyer, doctor, engineer. Those are the career paths that they appreciate, So that's what I was going to do. But in my time, so we had the recession, and I graduated in the heart of the recession, which meant that there were a lot of jobs that were no longer available for lawyers. So you could literally be applying and you're not getting anywhere. So I said, you know what? I've been doing stuff online when I was in A levels. So I was like, why don't I see if I can try and turn that into a business? And that's essentially what I did. So I learned how to make a website. I learned how to create a web presence first, learn how to make a website. Then I learned how to actually make sure that that website is found on the internet, so that people coming in could actually find it. And and that was basically my journey.
So your journey was birthed out of the recession.
Exactly. I'm a recession baby.
Yeah. so such like a lot of babies who came out of the recession. I guess the idea that I wanted to ask though. Since then, have your priorities changed from when you first started?
Yeah. So
that we're transitioning into a different time right now.
Yeah. So I would say your core, and I'll say this for any entrepreneur, your core essence doesn't change, but your goals as you go through different levels changes. So there are 4 things that you need to learn how to do when you run a business or you're getting on your entrepreneurial journey. First thing, you need to know how to generate leads. That's the first thing. Second thing, you need to learn how to convert those leads. Then you need to know how to do customer ascension, which is basically taking customers through your value ladder. And then customer retention is how you keep them. So if you have some sort of either membership, newsletter, or maintenance, or continued service offering that you're providing them, you need to learn those things. So if I could go back to my starting out self, and I was gonna say to myself, hey, these are the things you need to know as you start on this journey. Those would be the first things. Another thing I'd say to my starting out self is have a mentor who's actually already done it, because if you can get someone who's already done it and they've had success, it doesn't even have to be success to say they've made millies. They've made 5 to the 6-figure mark, because you're starting from 0. Even you get into the 4-figure mark is fine. So Yeah, and on my journey, I would say at every level, I've learned something different that's been able to help me ascend to the next level. You actually can't ascend to the next level until you finish one level, and that's unfortunately that's just how it is because you don't know what you don't know, meaning that if you don't know what you're supposed to do, you don't know how to get to the next level. So,
Right.
yeah. So in terms of myself, yeah.
I got to ask you this question, man. I feel like it's of all the questions I'm gonna ask you today, it's one of the most important questions. Like, what challenges did you have to overcome along your journey where you felt like this was the biggest obstacle in your way and you had to overcome it in order to propel to the next level?
I'll probably say the biggest challenge for me was thinking only I can do it. I think that was the biggest. I think that was probably no. I'd probably say that was the best mindset shift I could have was thinking that I could do it. So thinking only I can do it, which is basically that if anything to do with a customer, to do with a client, I had to do it. It had to be me. Right. No one else could do it the way that I could do it. So I think that was probably one of the biggest things. And another thing, which I would probably say, actually, probably the biggest thing to actually get over to even start was actually thinking that this could be a business. I think that was probably the most important thing, because had I gone with the mentality of this isn't a real job, I wouldn't be here today.
So you had to take it serious. Yeah.
I had to take it seriously. I had to, because back then we're talking about what, 2010 to 2013-ish. It wasn't what it is now. It wasn't what it is now. Like, even social media wasn't anywhere close to what social media is now. You feel like Facebook is what? Facebook was 2005. So Facebook is essentially what, 21 years old? Yeah, Facebook is now 21.
Yeah, somewhere around there, 2005, 2015.
Yeah, somewhere around. Yeah. You feel me? So Facebook just turned 21. You feel me? So so when you think about that and you think about where it is now to where it started, it's a whole different ball game. Same thing with web world, whole different ball game. So yeah. That's why I said it'd be my challenge.
I see that. Like, we're in a new era.
Challenge.
Yeah, I got it. And that's unique and different. We're in an era right now, right?
Yeah.
Unique era where we have more and more entrepreneurs coming in the industry, as you know, even from our group, whether from the Shasam group, from one meetup, right?
Yeah.
What advice, though, would you give to someone who's trying to become an entrepreneur in this time right now? Because we know there's a leap of faith that they have to take, like giving up the security for the unsecure of becoming what it is that you want to be. So what advice would you give to someone who's becoming an entrepreneur right now?
There are a lot of things that I would advise, but I would advise someone coming in like I would advise myself. So the first thing I would say is, so let's start with the person who doesn't have a 9-to-5 and the person who has a 9-to-5. The person who has a 9-to-5, I would say, don't jump into something just yet, just because you don't like your job. Don't jump into something just yet, just because you don't like your job. Use your 9-to-5 as your tuition that you're getting paid for, to then use that as your platform to build your business. That's what I would say. So you get a 9-to-5, even if your 9-to-5 is paying you whatever it is in hours. Let's say, I can't even think of an example. Let's say you're getting 25, 30 grand a year. You were getting enough money for you to take out of your expendable income to use and build a business. So take that paper, use it to develop a skill that you can then sell, or use it to develop a product that you can then sell. So you've got some capital, you've got a source of capital that you can use from your 9-to-5. Don't just say, hey, I hate my boss, I'm quitting, I'm out. Don't do that. Me personally, that's what I would say. I would say, take capital, use that as a capital source to learn a skill. If you're going to learn something in the digital world, you can learn anything for free on YouTube. The problem is you need to organize it yourself. So the problem with YouTube University is there's no organization. This person's going to say something, that person's going to say something, that person over there is going to say something. So there's no organization. So you need to know what you're looking for you to structure it yourself. The other way is you go and learn from someone who's already created a course about whatever that skill is that you're trying to, whether it's credit repair, whether it's trucking, whether it's web work, whatever it is, do that. Another thing I would say is don't necessarily think you need to follow your passion. Go for what's going to make you paper first.
Ah, man, you lit the nail on the head when you said that.
Don't think it has to be a passion.
Yo, not cutting you or anything, man. When I say you hit the nail on, I remember, a lot of my family members, they know me as a chef because I did it for like 8 years. I left out of high school. I went straight into Sandals, Ocherest, in the hotel chain. And I was a chef for a very long time. You know what I mean? I became a manager, general manager, all that stuff. But I was so passionate about this thing, but I wasn't making any money. Yo, then I came up with the idea later on in life that the things that you're most passionate about isn't necessarily the things that's going to make you the most money. And that's when I went into trucking, I wasn't that passionate about trucking when I just went into it, but I realized that I could have made a lot of money from it, And over a period of time, the passion grew, and then we grew the business and all that stuff. So you're 1000% correct when you said, things that, not passionate about may not be the first thing you need to do. Try to get that paper first.
Get that paper first, because the thing is, when you have something that creates paper for you, you can use that and feed whatever passion you have. You feel me? So once you've got that paper coming in from whatever it is, whatever business you set up, you can use that to fund that passion and create a business out of that passion. And if that passion doesn't work, it's not a case of, that's the only source of income. You still got this, you've learned from whatever it is that you were doing over here. That's something that Myron said. He goes, it's either working for you or it's working on you. You feel me? I was like, that's a bar. So that's something that he said that I learned. And
I want you to repeat that again, because I want our audience to hear.
Right, cool. So Myron in his mentoring of us, he taught us something which is really important. And this is for people who are doing things and they think it's not working. I can't see any success. I've started. I expect to see some positive returns. He goes, work works. It's either working on you or it's working for you. So if it's working for you, you're seeing progress, great. If you're not seeing any progress, then it's working on you. So it's teaching you, what's not working and how to maneuver. And I was like, that is brilliant.
Wow, that's brilliant. That is brilliant indeed. All right, so we have a lot of people who they become entrepreneurs and they try to figure out their niche and how to go about marketing. A lot of people becomes an entrepreneur and they can't get their product out. They're stuck. How do you get them? It's a two-part question. How do you get them unstuck? And what are some of the strategies that you would say that you would first use for a business in terms of marketing and getting unstuck?
Okay, so I will look at it with because the two businesses you can have is either you're doing services or you're doing products. So let's say you're doing a service, right? And you've figured out everything that this is a service industry that people are making money. There's a demand for your service, because again, this is what I was saying about whole passion and business. If you go for a passion that there's no demand for, you're not going to make any paper because the market doesn't value it. So let's say you figured out that the market values what you have to offer, and you can see that there's a demand. If you've got a service, you need to start making offers to people. You need to start doing your lead generation offers first. So start with your lead generation offers, which could be, let's say you're a dentist and you're saying, we're going to do free teeth whitening for the next 10 people who sign up to our free teeth whitening list, right? People sign up, they come into your list. So you now have maybe a list of, let's just say it's 20 people. You have a list of 20 people who sign up for the free teeth whitening. And as soon as they sign up, you could have your VA or your sales team call them up, say, hey, you really want our teeth whitening? Blah, blah, blah. Cool, awesome. Now, you set up a time, you set up a day for them to come in, do your teeth, the teeth whitening, whatever. At that point, the dentist now has the opportunity to upsell those particular people on different things. It could be a case of, hey, I can see a bit of coloring in the back of your mouth. You might need to get this checked out. Here's what I would recommend. However, if you want us to take care of it, we can schedule in for the next available appointment, just so that this doesn't get bad. Or it could be, hey, you need braces. Hey, you need to straighten your teeth. Hey, you need this. Hey, you need that. So as a service, that is your ascension. So they've come in for something which is relatively low and easy to do. Then you're upselling the things. So that is what I would do in a service-based industry. Create an offer that's going to build your list and make sure that you're moving people away from pain and not promising them pleasure necessarily. That's how you build your list. If you're doing it as a product and you have no marketing budget or anything, what I would say is get your products on eBay, get your products on Facebook Marketplace, get your free. If you understand Amazon well enough, get your products on Amazon, and from that, optimize your products on those various platforms, because those platforms have your audience, they have the buyers. You just need to make sure that your brand is recognizable, so people remember that, oh, I bought it from X, Y, and Z company. So you just need to optimize your page that way. You get your customers coming in, and from then you can now start doing your online marketing to actually build a list of customers. Because unfortunately, if you're doing that on any of those platforms, they don't necessarily allow you to get a customer list. You have to kind of manually do it yourself by checking who's bought, what their address is, what their email is, what their contact information is. So you can still build that list. It's just a bit more manual if you're doing it that way. But on both sides, what you really are trying to do, first of all, is to build a customer list, because that is your biggest asset once you start. So, yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of info that's definitely needed, because a lot of entrepreneurs believe that it's so easy. Just create the product and then try sell it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then try to sell it to their friends, and then once their friends bought it all off, then it's like, okay, what's next? I've sold it to everybody. You know what I mean?
You know what? I'm going to say something, which is, this isn't popular opinion, because I know a lot of people may, in fact, I know a lot of people do not see it this way, but your friends aren't supposed to be your customers. And that's a fact. Your friends are not supposed to be your customers. Your friends should support you. And when I say support you, it doesn't necessarily mean they need to pay for your service. If it doesn't add value to them, they don't need to pay for it. They can support you, like tell other people about it, like, yo, you're doing a good job. Here are a few pointers. Here's some feedback that I can give you. Hey, I saw your Instagram page. Let me share it on my Instagram. Let me like your pictures. I'm a comment. They should support you. But if your product or your service doesn't add value to them, they're not supposed to buy it. If a friend of mine has a business that is for vegans and I'm not vegan, I can't necessarily support that business.
True.
You feel me? Same thing. If a friend of mine has a business that is selling women's clothing, I can't support that business. I can't be a customer to her, but I can support her business. So yeah, your customers are not necessarily your friends. You feel me? Or your friends are not necessarily your customers. So that's just one point, because I know a lot of people say, oh, I know a lot of people, so once I just get to all of them, and nah, not necessarily. It needs to be for the person. Yeah, the person you can add value to.
Yeah, that is so true, because too many times, a lot of people, new entrepreneurs, they start their business, and the first people that they try to push it to is their friends, not knowing that, your friends are supposed to be there if we go down the alley and something's supposed to jump off. That's
exactly.
not necessarily
Exactly.
to build their friends. And it's also, I always tell my audience and my friends too, whenever they're making their post and selling their product, try not to sell it to the people that's around you. You know what I mean? Try to sell it, build it for the large mass of
The wider
people.
audience. Yeah.
You know, cater towards those people. All right. I know you've been here, man. I know the time is longer than what we talked about.
No,
There's
it's
two
cool.
questions.
It's cool, man. I'm happy. I'm happy to keep talking.
All right,
Keep
cool.
asking me. Let's go.
Okay, cool. There's two questions I wanted to get in before we get off of here. A lot of people, I'll just ask you straight on. I wouldn't even try to break it up before I ask you. What are some of the good qualities of an entrepreneur?
One of the good qualities of an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
These are two qualities, in fact, that I would have said in the what would I advise an entrepreneur to do, and it's the ability to always be ready to improve on yourself. Like always, you need to always be ready to learn. So I've got books here that I've not. Some of them I finished reading. Some of them, like these two, I've just got to help improve what I can do for whoever I am serving. This is Myron's one, which just came.
Okay.
So, and obviously we know this one, which is the one that me you've been reading. You feel me? You feel me?
Yeah.
So, as an entrepreneur, I would probably say the first thing is you need to always be learning. You never stop learning. It's not a case of I finished uni, I finished college, I don't need to learn anymore. Nah, the only way you're ever gonna stay ahead of your competition or be able to serve your customers at the highest level is to always be learning, because it's impossible for you to know everything, but it's possible to you to learn and earn. And the more you learn, the more you're able to earn. And that really is a fact.
All right, so whether you're a business owner providing a service or you're an e-commerce business with products, you need a website. The most common problems that I hear from business owners are they don't know where to start, or they're confused with all this person said this, that guru said that. It's all information overload, and it's forcing you to leave money on the table and not grow as quickly as you would like. Okay, let's bring some clarity to the situation. You're a business owner, which means your website is an asset that's meant to work for you round the clock, no lunch breaks. It should position you as the expert, attract the right type of customers, and have a system in place for those potential customers to book you for appointments, pay you for consultations and other services, as well as buy your products on your website. And even when someone doesn't pay you right there and then, it should have a follow-up system in place that allows you to collect that lead and then convert that lead later on down the line. And all of this needs to happen automatically in the background. Now, high performance businesses are the type of clients who tend to need these solutions, and they're the type of clients we already work with. So if you're in the 5-figure range, or you're already doing 6 to 7 figures, but you're not yet taking full advantage of the internet in the way that's right for your particular business, the solution is this. You need a high performance client attraction website for your high performance business. One that's custom made to work for you 24/7, whilst you focus on growing and scaling your business. So go to www.oyemadeit.com/performance, select the option for web design. Alternatively, you can go and click the link in the description, or there should be a link in my bio on Instagram. Remember, this is not for everyone. This is for businesses who are looking to level up, scale up their business, and stop leaving money on the table. We work with businesses that are a right fit and those that we believe we can help achieve their business and financial goals. So that's oyemadeit.com, oyemadeit.com/performance, or there should be a link in the description below, or there's the link in my bio on Instagram. We look forward to hearing from you and working with you. Now, let's get back to the episode.
Another thing I would say to upcoming entrepreneurs is get yourself a mentor. If you can find someone who's actually done what you want to do, I said this before, get in with that person. And you don't necessarily have to pay if you don't have the ability to pay. You can do what I love to call mentorship from a distance. I did a lot of mentorship from a distance with Dave. I watched a whole bunch of Sleepers for Soccer episodes. I watched a whole bunch of podcast episodes. I learned from a bunch of that he interviewed, before I got into the group. You feel me? So exactly, I did the same thing with Myron before I actually got in to learn with Myron, But when I've actually, as soon as I understood the importance of a mentor, every time I can get in with one, I try and actually do it, because it's so important that someone who's already done it can condense your learning curve from decades into days. Like that is probably one of the most important cheat codes, I would say. So for the people who say, oh, I can't afford this, you can do mentorship from a distance. Again, it's really simple. Go on YouTube and just consume whatever it is. Okay, it's not organized, so you're going to be the one who needs to organize it yourself. But you're doing it for free, so that's the payoff. Oh, sorry, that's the trade-off. You need to organize it yourself. Now, if you can afford to pay for them, then pay for them. But the most important thing is it needs to be someone who's already achieved what you want to achieve. So you need to do your due diligence, because there are a lot of fake people on the internet who claim they've done X, Y, and Z and haven't actually done it. They claim to have done X, Y, and Z, but they've not done it. They're talking about, hey, I made 10 grand in 2 minutes. I did 60 grand in 5 seconds. Don't believe those guys. Make sure you do your due diligence. And that's what I would say.
Cool. I gotta ask you this, right? Because in our alley, we made in our group, we've made a lot of investments. As an entrepreneur, what is the best investment that you have made as an entrepreneur?
That's really easy. Investment in myself.
Perfect. I love it. Because a lot of people don't understand the information, how valuable it is, to in our group, we say you gotta pay to play. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, they want the best, they want to be the best, but they don't want to invest in themselves. I can sit here and tell you, it's not the cars that I've bought, it's not the trucks or the house that I've bought. One of the single most important investment that I've made is the investment in oneself. You know what I mean? And that is so crazy. I'm just glad that you got that out there. So my brother, my final question to you is a question that was asked in our group today, and I just felt like there's no way that I could have finished the live without asking you the question. All right.
Talk to me.
What do you feel is most important? Your network, your ability to perform, or your mindset? Talk to me.
Mindset, 100%.
Yes. Your mindset.
The reason why I say mindset is if mindset is right, everything else follows. But if your mindset is wrong, you can't do anything else. So if your mindset is, I really want to talk to this guy, but I don't know if I'll be able to, and I'm not sure if when I get to him, I'll be able to say the right things, or I've not perfected this, or I need to make sure this is right, or I need to, like, all these excuses, they come from up here, right? If you go in and you're like, okay, cool, I don't know anything, I'll figure it out as I go, you've got the right mindset and you will figure it out as you go. Because perfect example, what's his name? Logan Paul. So there was this meme going around recently, and it was basically this guy had a 6-figure job, and he's 21. This is the backstory. He's 21. He had a 6-figure job. He snuck into this event that Logan Paul was in. Logan Paul is a big YouTuber and everything. He's making a bunch of millions. And he goes, yo, Logan, I snuck into this place, blah, blah, blah. I quit my job because I want you to mentor me. And Logan's like, the first thing Logan says to him, what are you good at? And the guy's like, I don't know. I just want you to mentor me. Just teach me everything. I want to be like you. Just mentor me. And Logan's like, if you're not good at anything, what can you do?
Yeah.
He said, I don't, and the guy goes, I don't know, blah, 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 this and that. Then Logan goes, yo, I'm not the guy for you. I need a mentor for myself. But he goes to him, the way you approach me is the same way you can approach anybody else. But the guy, he went back, he started doing his whole, he started crying. It was like, yo, Logan doesn't love me. Like, I quit my job so I can chase my dreams and let Logan mentor me. And I'm like, this guy's looking at this thing from the wrong perspective. He's got to Logan Paul, and Logan Paul is actually giving him the game. He said, yo, if you can talk to me, you're a good looking guy, you can speak, you can put sentences together. That's all you need in LA. That's all you need to be creative. The fact that you were creative enough to think of a way to get to me and ask me this question, that's all you need. But the first thing is, he asked the guy, what can you do to add value? Because Logan had already seen that ability, that, okay, this guy has that creative ability. But his mindset was not right. He came there unprepared.
True.
He came there unprepared. He just thought, all I need to do is get to him, and that's it. That's the end. It's like me saying, if I get to speak to Jay-Z, that's it. That's the rest of my life is sorted because I get to ask Jay-Z, yo, mentor me. He might say to me, yo, what can you do for me? We already have a web designer. He might say that. We already have a web designer. Okay, I'm going to say, okay, do you have lead generation strategies that could do X, Y, and Z? Do you have this idea? I've got an idea for the blueprint that we can redo it and make it into an NFT. Like, I need to come prepared. I can't just say, hey, here's my one skill. Can I work with you or mentor me? I need to come prepared, but my mindset has to be right so I'm prepared for that opportunity.
Which is so crazy, because it feeds into what we're discussing today, is asking the right questions. How to ask, because there's questions that you'll ask. Like, a lot of people need to understand that when you're in certain rooms, there's certain level of question that you ask. Like, there's certain questions that I ask you today that a lot of people would struggle to answer those questions, because their mindset of how they would articulate maybe their product or their services is not there as yet. So they will struggle to answer the question. So you got to be mentally prepared, you know what I mean, and put yourself in the room. Is the room that you're in right now, is someone asking you what it is that you do? Like, how do you get rich? You know what I mean? There's so many other questions that you could ask a rich person, like, how do you get rich? Oh, come on, no, that's not picking that person's brain. You know what I mean? That's not piquing their thing, like, really? Do I really gotta think about this? And even if he explained it to you, you still wouldn't even get it. You know what I mean?
You still wouldn't even get it. You still wouldn't even get it because you've not gone through the process. It's the same thing with that story when people are, if you gave all the money, took all the money from the rich people and gave it to the poor people so that the poor people will be fine. It's still going to end up, because the reason why the rich people are rich is primarily because they understand how to create value. The moment you understand how to create value, whether it's with a skill or what you can offer, that is always going to be that value exchange. So I will give you my paper for the value you can offer me. You feel me? I will always give you my paper for the value you can offer me. So if you've taken all the paper I have and I'm rich, I'm a billionaire, if you're giving it to someone over here, the reason why I will be able to get it back is because the value I created to get that billion in the first place, I know how to duplicate it because I picked up that skill. This person who has my billion currently doesn't have that skill. They just have my billion. I create that value again, put it in front of them, they give me back my billion. And that's that value exchange that will always happen until you over here have that ability to create that thing of value to exchange money with somebody else. And that's a fact.
That is so true, because what I'll add to that is there's this old saying that goes around that says, oh, if you hang around the 9th billionaire, you'll become the 10th. The 9th billionaire, you become the 10th.
Not if your mindset is right.
Yeah, that doesn't work. The only way you become the 10th is if you add value to those 9 million. You won't be around long enough to become.
You feel me? 100%.
For real. So a lot of people need to understand value. A lot of people, they don't value themselves, and I spoke on this earlier. I did that earlier podcast. Said on it as far as I didn't value. So the 4 level of value. I know you probably did that.
Oh,
that is it's so crazy, because a lot of people are like, the first level of value is like implementation. It's like,
implementation.
That's like the last implemented out. Yo, it's just levels to the thing. You know what I mean?
Dude,
But
dude.
before you go, my brother, I really, really do appreciate you. Someone inside of here is asking, I think it's Garner JR, they're asking if you do click funnels, and they definitely would like to connect with you ASAP.
Yeah, hit me up. We do funnels, so hit me up. Click funnels, whether it's your bump offers or you're trying to figure out what your thank you page should be saying or anything, what steps you should be going through. That is part of being able to create a client attraction website, knowing how to do the funnels. It's like what I said to you, my man. I've been thinking, like, when I meet someone or I meet a potential customer who's asking me questions, I need to show them that I've been thinking about their problem for at least a decade. So I've thought about all the steps that they've not even thought about. I've thought about all the problems they're going to come across that they don't even know about. You feel me?
Yeah.
And that's the only way you can show people that you're the best, because you keep learning, and then you can say to them, all right, I know you thought about this, but here's X, Y, and Z. Because for every solution I provide you, there are going to be 5 new problems you're going to come across. And if I haven't showed you how to solve them, you're going to be stuck. So yeah, hit me up.
True.
I can discuss ClickFunnels with you.
Okay. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, I just want you guys to know that is one of the best. I met in our morning group, in the morning meetup, and I always like the way you articulate your stuff, man, and you've been a professional through and through. And I'll say to you guys, I'm gonna tell you guys this, and this is me learning from my mistake. We're reading this book, and it's called Who
Not.
I'm gonna tell you guys right now, in life, you need to figure out your who, and your who is the person who you need to find to do what it is that you're struggling to do at the highest level. They're the professional. So instead of you trying to figure out how to do it, find your who. And in this one situation that I needed to figure out, I had found my who in Oye, and I'm telling you guys, he's one of the best in the industry. Even though it's all the way in England, it doesn't matter. We are in a digital era right now,
100.
and I'm telling you, I highly, highly recommend him, guys. I am using him right now, and I just want to say thank you very much, bro, for coming on. Thank you very much for the service that you are providing right now, and will be providing in the future, because you're my man. You know what I mean? So to all of you out there right now, let them know how it is that they can find you, how it is that they can get in touch inside. If you guys, whatever website it is, whatever ClickFunnels you need to set up, it's here. Come on now, let me know. Let them know.
Yeah, so if you type in my name into Google, or you type in Cubs Group Media, or in fact, just go on my Instagram page and click on my link, and it will take you to a customized link tree that we've actually made, and you can get in touch with us via there, or you can send me a DM. Either one should be fine. So, hey, what up, Franklin? I see Franklin repping morning meetup.
I see it.
So yeah, to anyone who wants to get in touch, you can DM me, you can go to Cubs Group Media, or you can click on the link in my bio, and that will give you any of the options to either book a session with me or get in touch with my team. So either myself or my team will be in touch. So yeah, I'm very approachable, very accessible, even for people who want to ask questions, because a lot of people get apprehensive that, you're on X, Y, and Z level. I'm just here, but I don't know if I can ask you. Nah, because I used to be on that level at some point in time. So I'm always happy to help. My team's always happy to help. So
that is so true. And one thing that I'll add with you guys, I went inside of there, and after I got your spreadsheet of what kind of website is it that I wanted, whatever website that I went in there with, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna tell you, this guy is putting out a Rolex website. I would say that I went in there not with a Schwartz, maybe with an Invicta or something like that. You know what I mean? But I'm coming out with a Rolex website. I just want to say, I really do appreciate your recommendations. I take them highly, and that's one thing that I love about you, man, is that you you take the information for what it is, and then you give your feedback, you ask your question, and that's something beautiful, because a lot of people who provide service, they want to push down what it is that they believe on their customers. Like, yo, this is what you should get. But you ask and you make suggestions based upon the projection and where it is that, your client wants to be at. And that's a very beautiful thing, man. Because most people, they just shove it down your throat, yo, do this. You know what I mean? But before you go though, I need you to drop a bar. Just drop something. Leave my audience with something before you get out of here. You can't run away like this.
A drop of bar. You want me to drop a bar? I feel like I'm on Social Proof podcast now, where Dave's like, yo, you need to leave us with something. You need to leave us with something. You gotta leave us with something, man. You gotta leave us with something. What can I leave people with? I want to feel like I need to drop something that's gonna be like memorable and something that people can always go through. All right, I'm gonna say this. Yeah, this isn't even my bar, but this is someone else's bar. If you're gonna be the best, and this is for people who have a problem with understanding how to price themselves. No one expects you to be the cheapest if you're the best, and no one believes you're the best if you're the cheapest. I'm gonna say that again. I got that from Myron. No one expects you to be the cheapest if you're the best, and no one will believe you're the best if you're the cheapest. So that's not to say that you need to charge crazy prices, but it's to say you need to know the level of value that you're bringing. And if the level of value that you're bringing is this big and the price is this big, people will always buy from you. Okay? But again, don't confuse that with thinking that, yo, Oye said this, so I'm going to start charging $1,000 an hour. Nah, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is get the value that is this big. So the value is 10 grand, but the price you're charging is $1,000, and people will always buy. That's what I'd say. And always trust yourself, no matter what, no matter the decision, no matter the situation, always trust yourself.
That is so true. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, what he's saying is, good products aren't cheap, and cheap products
ain't good.
So make sure that you be mindful when you create your product, man. Don't price yourself out of it. Don't price yourself too. Don't price yourself too high. Make sure that you build up your value. So therefore, when you go inside of there, and we'll use the analogy of Ramsey. Ramsey is a master of. You know what I mean? He's a master chef. Make sure that when you go inside of there, man, you don't just be the jack. You know what I mean? Because it may be a situation where, Ramsey will say, you know what, it's $1,000 to make this egg. And you'll go there, you pay $1,000 because he's a master of it, right? 100. And John comes and he makes a better egg than what Ramsey makes, and he said it's $1,000. You're not going to buy it because you don't know Ramsey. And that's the difference between becoming a master of and just a jack off. You know what I mean? So make sure that, you guys become a master of what it is. Always remember, that it's not what you sell, it's how you sell.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. My brother, oh man, I can't tell you how much I thank you, man. You know what? We're doing this podcast. It's the whole entire week. You know what time it is, and I promise my audience right now, all of you guys online, I will be bringing back this man alive once we complete this podcast. I've been doing it. No, seriously, I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing it in a radio friendly capacity. We're doing it a little bit different now. We're doing it on a podcast level, so it's a little bit different from what it is that we have done. So we will go into it. We will go into a longer version of this conversation because it's a podcast. So therefore, if I'm bringing you on, we can have that hour and a half long conversation.
We can have it, dude. Just let me know. I always make time for my people. Always make time for my MMU people. Always.
Definitely.
Family all the time.
Out to you, man. So once we set up shop and all that stuff, I would definitely love to bring you back on board, man. So thank you so much. Oh yeah, I really, really appreciate you, man.
Thank you very much, man. Appreciate the opportunity.
Yes. All right, guys. It was a pleasure having you guys on here. I needed to get that out there. I needed to have this conversation. Oh yeah. At first I was contemplating whether I should just me and him do it one-on-one without having an audience. But I'm like, what the hell? Why would we rob them of the information that you're gonna provide to them? You know what I mean? So I'm like, yo, thank you. All right. So tomorrow, I'll see you tomorrow in the morning meetup. Yeah.
I'm gonna see you in the morning meetup, G. I'm gonna see you in the morning meetup.
All right, guys. Yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow, man. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate it.
Peace, my man. Take care.
Please. Yes.
Also, you're saving this, right?
Definitely. I definitely do need to save it.
All right, cool. Yes, just so I can get a copy as well.
You guys know that I'm not the most technologically. So I'm over here figuring like how do I save this stuff? Because I always go live like.
All right. So when we end the chat, it would give you the option that do you want to save it or do you want to post it and all of that. So just click post it and then just post it onto your Instagram and then I can see it from there and you've got it as well. So that's why I had to ask. That's what I had to ask.
Look how crazy it is, guy. That I've been doing radio for a long time, but when it comes out to like the social, you can ask me anything about systems and vmix and how to set up this and that and all that stuff. But yo, when it comes out to this, I'm like, okay, how do we save an Instagram video again? Okay, so I'm gonna try my best to make sure that I save it and we don't lose it. Because guess what? This is gonna be my receipt. My ticket that we did have this conversation.
That we had this conversation. Exactly.
Yeah. Most definitely, man. So thank you much, bro.